Quick disclaimer before we begin. I know that I sound like I am on the back end of the flu, but the grind continues, so we're gonna push on.
Hey, let's go.
Typically on this channel we talk about anything video game related, but for today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about animation in movies and TV shows, because I've been watching a lot more animation recently and I want to talk about it.
My name is Miles Morales. I'm Brooklyn's one and only Spider-Man, and things are going great.
Oh yeah, you were supposed to be here at 5.
All right, whatever.
Whatever?
Wow.
Whatever?
And why do I want to talk about it? I want to talk about it for the simple fact that animated movies need talking about a bit more. I think generally people look at animated movies as children's movies, and the Spider-Man movies, for example, really showed us that that's not the case. And this has come from someone, I didn't grow up on anime, I've never been big on anime. It's only in very recent years that I've started to have some interest in animation, and I really had never realised how truly beautiful animated movies could be. But not only are they beautiful, the things that the studios are able to do with animation is incredible. Now, I generally, for the most part, quite enjoy the Marvel movies, in particular Spider-Man. Tom Holland does a great job as Spider-Man, but animators can go off the scale with it and are able to create scenes that not even the most talented actor or highest quality CGI could achieve. With animation, every single scene is like a painting, and animators are able to set the scene in a way that no live action movie would ever be able to do. Subtle things that you may not have even picked up on when watching the movie, like, for example, the environment changing, or the overall tone and colour palette of the film changing depending on the character's mood. And whereas in a live action film they may favour a CGI built scene that is slightly more dull because CGI is incredibly expensive, whereas with animation, fight scenes can be complicated and colourful and explosive and truly incredible to watch. The animators are able to create literally anything that they can imagine. There are no limitations with animation, whereas there are limitations with CGI. Animation also allows for characters to be presented to the viewer in a totally unique way. Now, what I would really love to see is more new movies that would traditionally be produced as a live action film to instead be considered for an animated movie. Because ultimately, I think in a lot of cases, an animated version would end up being a much better film than it would if it were live action. And there's definitely a hunger for it. The top 2 grossing films in 2023 were both animations. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse made $17.35 million at the US box office. The second being the Super Mario movie, which made $208.6 million worldwide in the first weekend. I think these recent Disney live action remakes that we've had are also a pretty clear sign that certain movies definitely lend themselves to animation, and live action is not always the right route to take. Because generally speaking, the live action Disney remakes are not very well received. Some filmmakers definitely seem to be aware of this. The highly respected filmmaker Guillermo del Toro, for example, is very open about the importance of animation.
It's a medium for art, it's a medium for film.
His own Twitter bio reading, "Animation is not a genre, it's a medium." Perhaps for some people, animation equates to either a children's movie or an over-the-top Japanese anime, which isn't to everybody's taste. But the beauty of animated films and shows is that they are so vastly different to one another and are able to present themselves in a totally unique way. Now, as I said earlier in the video, I didn't grow up as a big anime fan, but a few shows that I would recommend to someone who's perhaps on the fence about whether to try a show or not would definitely be the Netflix Castlevania series. Also on Netflix, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and even the Witcher's animated series, which also can be found on Netflix. And if you haven't given the Spider-Verse movies a go yet, I would highly recommend it. They are utterly fantastic. And with that brings us to the end of the video. In my next video we will be returning to video games. This is just a subject that I did want to discuss. So thank you very much for watching, I really do appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. Alright, I'm gonna go to bed. Good night, peace.